Hello, and welcome to Recycling Works TV show, the show that informs, educates, and inspires our citizens to recycle. My name is Michelle Wiseman, and I'm your guest host sitting in for Mary Darby today. And along with me today is my co-host.
And I'm Judy Knowles. I'm co-host.
Well, thank you for coming. We have a great show today. We actually have Gloria Hardegree from the Georgia Recycling Coalition. She'll be an amazing guest. She's full of information. She's probably one of the most well-versed people on recycling in the state of Georgia. And
Michelle, did you know that this is our 11th show?
Wow.
We're ending a season. We have taped a whole season at Recycling Works TV. We've had people such as Senator Donzella James.
Yeah, she's a great guest.
The Clean Air Coalition.
Yeah.
We've had a pastor. We've had the teen recycling show
right.
too, which I think is going to be a great addition to Recycling Works TV. And we were asked to be guests on the Stan Watson show.
That's awesome.
And so we've just had a delightful season, and we're looking forward to even a more great season next year.
And the thing is we have so much more information that we can share with our citizens. There's a lot going on, not only with recycling, but with a lot of other sustainability initiatives. So I think that this is a great opportunity for people to really become educated, because I think when I tell people about recycling and why recycling is important, I'm always telling them information. They're like, wow, I didn't know. Or the other thing they say is, you know what? I never even thought about it.
Well, see, too, you were a great guest on our show, too, representing SP Recycling. So we're looking forward to a great new season. We have a lot to thank Mary and her family for with getting the Recycling Works TV show going, and we're looking forward to expanding a lot too next year. So thank you for guest hosting today too.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. We'll be going to a break, and thank you for staying with us. We'll be right back.
Daddy, recycle this. My
name is Michelle Wiseman. I'm the guest host today, along with my co-host, Judy Knowles. And with us today is Gloria Hardegree, the Executive Director for the Georgia Recycling Coalition. And Gloria, we are so excited to have you with us today. Thank you for joining us. And please tell us all about the GRC as we affectionately know it and what your mission is.
Great. Well, thank you all both for having me today. It's my pleasure. Georgia Recycling Coalition is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We're statewide. We were founded, as a matter of fact, this month 21 years ago. In the month of October, way back in the early 90s. So we're proud to say that we've been around that long. Our mission is to promote and enhance waste reduction and recycling in Georgia. We do that through several programs and projects, which we're going to get into later during the show, I believe. So I would tell you that we've been recognized for some of our work by being honored by publications like Atlanta Magazine. The National Recycling Coalition recognized us as the Recycling Coalition of the Year a few years ago, and recently this year we won the Green Reach Award from the Atlanta Business Chronicle. So we're proud to say that we are here to stay and here to help facilitate the mission of getting citizens recycling more.
Gloria, could you share with us some of the misconceptions about recycling in Georgia?
Well, there are probably several, but I'll start with the one that I hear the most, which is the strangest one of all, is that there is no recycling, which is amazing to me that people say there is no recycling going on in Atlanta, there is no recycling going on in Georgia. That's just not true. As recently as a couple of weeks ago, 2 major metropolitan jurisdictions announced plans to increase recycling. The city of Atlanta with delivering 65,000 new 96-gallon carts to the citizens in their city, and DeKalb County which has dropped some fees to increase recycling and incentivize people to recycle more. Both are doing great campaigns, which is a very important educational piece of the whole picture in order to motivate, incentivize, and train citizens about how to increase recycling. So recycling is happening. There's no question. Cities all over the state, including the city of Cartersville up in North Georgia, and recently Lowndes County down in South Georgia mentioned a new program where they're going to have curbside recycling for all of their citizens, so it's happening. I would say the second most error in thinking is that there are no markets here. Georgia is renowned in the nation for having the largest amount of markets for the end use of these materials. So we'll expound on that a little bit later too. The one thing that I think is important to understand is that recycling is not really waste anymore. And we still have that perception in our mind, so that's something that we need to change. We need to focus ourselves as being resource managers. The other concept that is strange, and I think I understand why this happens, is people think it's really just thrown away. They see it go in the back of a truck. They don't really know where that truck's going. They don't know the destination or the purpose of that truck that day. We've asked the jurisdictions and the haulers to put stickers or magnets on their trucks to let people understand today we're recycling, today we're picking up yard trimmings. So that's one that's, when you get deeper into what's happening in processing in Georgia, you understand it's not being thrown away, because we would not go to the cost of collecting it separately and then just pay to landfill it. A couple of other real quick ones. Everyone assumes if the recycling symbol is on a product that it's automatically recyclable in every place that you are. That's a huge misconception. We ask that you follow the directions provided you either by your hauler collector or by your jurisdiction, your city or county. And lastly, we have to understand that we are a global industry. This is not just a North America, not just a US. The recycling industry is global. So there's buying, selling, and trading of these commodities all over the globe every day.
Well, I think that's an important reason for you being here, because I think that we're helping through this program to get more information out about the recycling industry as a whole and how important it is in our state.
Yes.
So help us understand then, why is recycling important? What happens to those materials once they're picked up in that truck?
Well, there are a couple of reasons that recycling is important, and most of us are used to hearing the environmental perspective. And certainly, yes, there are definitely environmental advantages to recycling over just discarding everything. Things like recycling 1 ton of paper saves 7,000 gallons of water over the use of raw or virgin materials. That's something that people hear all the time, or how long an aluminum can recycle will help you run a computer, or things like that. But we can definitively state that recycling is one of the easiest ways to save energy, to conserve water, and to protect our natural resources over mining for raw materials to produce these new products. Secondly, when we move from the environmental aspect, and this has become more predominant in the last few years, is the economic aspect of this. It's very important, especially in these recessionary times, to understand that there are manufacturers out there who are taking these raw materials, they're creating new products. In the process, they are creating green jobs. They are paying tax base to local communities where the businesses are located. It's a big picture in economic development. A couple of studies have been done. One is by the Southeast Recycling Development Council that said that Georgia had one of the highest number of end users in manufacturers, end users in the 11-state region that sort of covers. It's 47.5K jobs and $29.4 billion in annual sales.
Wow.
We can say that just in the paper industry, there's 7,000 jobs and $4.5 billion in annual sales, and we're second in the nation in paper production. With 16 mills using recycled content, at least 10 of those 100% recycled content.
Wow.
So
that's a lot of paper.
They need paper. But according to the EPA, our national recycling rate's around 34% annually. And if we raise that rate to 75%, which is a big jump from 34 to 75, but if we did that, we would create nearly 1.5 million jobs by the year 2030.
Wow.
That's pretty big.
Will you share with us about some of the products that have recycled content?
Well, I have a saying that I use, which I like to tell people when I get asked this question. On any given day, you may be walking on, drinking from, reading off, wearing, driving in, eating from, printing on, or planting with a recycled content product. People don't realize that everything they touch in their daily life probably at one time was another product before. And I brought some examples, and we can look at a few of these. Like, these are what we call traditional materials: bottles and cans, aluminum, plastic, steel food cans, glass bottles, and of course, Michelle's favorite,
Paper.
the mixed paper.
Yeah.
All kinds of paper, envelopes, printing paper, catalogs, magazines, newspaper. All of those can be recycled in these programs. So on any given day, you may find
This
that there are
interests me a lot,
many,
too.
many materials that like cars that have recycled content. Cracker boxes that you buy in the store are made from recycled content. Cereal boxes. Most of the aluminum cans that you use today, 60 days ago, were in a mill being processed back into sheet metal to turn them back into aluminum cans.
That's fabulous information. Gloria, thank you so much, and we'll be right back. Thank you. We'll be right back.
By playing Recyclopoly, I learned that I don't have to put my old broken bike in the trash. Instead, I can help the environment and recycle it. Learn what you can recycle. By playing Recyclopoly, I'm playing.
We're playing and it's fun, fun, fun. We're playing too.
Recyclopoly, the Go Green game that should be in every household, school, and business. Order yours today. www.recyclingworkstv.com.
Welcome back to Recycling Works TV. I'm Michelle Wiseman, your guest host, along with Judy Knowles, our co-host, and our guest today is Gloria Hardegree from the Georgia Recycling Coalition. Gloria, thank you so much for coming. You are one of the biggest sources of information. I'm in the recycling industry, and you are one of my first go-to people in terms of information, because you are really a wealth of information. So thanks for coming and sharing your knowledge with us. And you were just talking to us about what types of items are recycled. And
Well, these are just a few common things that people are used to seeing. In our industry, we call them traditional materials, meaning they're the normal things that people have in their household that they can recycle every day, including still food cans, aluminum beverage cans that can go back on the shelf within 60 days from the recycling bin to the processing facility where they roll back out the aluminum and put aluminum back into the cans. Of course, the plastic bottles that get turned into many things, but in Georgia specifically, our carpet industry uses those to spin new carpet fiber, and then glass back into glass. An interesting question that we get asked a lot, and let me just preface this by saying that things change. Technology changes, things change, so we're always evolving. And people always ask about these little things, the caps on the bottles.
Right.
But I can tell you that they are fully recyclable. The caps are made from a chemical called polypropylene. Polypropylene gets turned into many products, and this is actually a product that is manufactured right here in our southeast region by KW Plastics in Troy, Alabama, which is actually a paint can.
Wow.
And this paint can once was polypropylene-like bottle caps. So that goes back to the thing about every day you may be touching something, reading from, drinking from, or walking on carpet that's made from recycled content. And these are just some samples of some of our carpet. We don't want to discount what we call non-traditional materials, which are electronics, e-scrap, carpeting, a whole lot of other things that can be recycled, just not in the recycle bin. We have to handle a lot of those things, including paint and household hazardous waste, in a separate way.
now I've heard that there is a huge amount of the water bottles that comes back to the state of Georgia for the carpet industry.
Yes. Probably, I don't remember the percent off the top of my head, but we have not only in Georgia, but in the Southeast region, we have the highest demand for the PET, which is another acronym for a very long chemical name, the PET plastic bottles for the carpet industry and many other industries.
So we need the water bottles with the caps on.
Caps on. Again, follow the directions by your hauler, but as things have evolved, the caps are desirable. We do want the caps. You don't have to twist them off and toss them and crush it. We would like it if you would twist the cap off, crush the bottle a little bit, put the cap back on, and put it in the bin, but we're not going to complicate things for you.
And we do not want the water in the bottles.
Preferably no liquid in
No
any
liquid.
of it, and no food contamination on any of it. Not pristine. You don't have to put it through the dishwasher, but it'd be nice for things to be relatively clean, because remember, we're going to change our mindset from waste back to resources.
Resources, that's exactly right. Well, tell us, how do people, how do our citizens find out about how to recycle and what to recycle?
The first thing that we recommend is, because recycling is local, we have a lot of cities and counties in the state that have responsibility for these materials. And we tell you to go to your hauler or collector first. Who picks up your trash? Ask that person about the recycling opportunities, whether it's a private company or whether it's your local county or city government or solid waste department or solid waste management authority. You can also go back to those people, the public works department or solid waste department, or sometimes it's called the environmental management department within local government. And we don't want to discount our Keep America Beautiful programs in Georgia, because we have the largest number of those in the state, with 75 and counting, I think, of these programs in different cities and counties. And they're all a wealth of information about how and when to recycle in a community. Earth 911 is a great online resource that you can do, indexed by zip code, so you can put your zip code or zip codes surrounding you in and find out about places. Our website has community profiles in there, where if you move from Valdosta to Dalton, you can go on and find out about what's going on in Dalton with recycling. So that's another resource. And last but not least, ask your elected officials. If there's no recycling in your community, go ask them, how do I recycle in my community? Because not only is that a conversation starter where it's not happening, but it also reinforces them understanding their constituents want that service.
And Gloria, we've been hearing a lot about a rumor going around that bags are now live.
Bags are live. We in Georgia, we're the 7th state to partner on a program. It's a national program called The Bags Life, and their slogan is "Don't treat me like trash." And we can, move that thought into a lot of products, but especially with respect to plastic bags, but not just plastic grocery bags or plastic retail bags. We also can use film plastic, all kinds of wraps that come around products like paper towels or 24 packs of drinks. Also, dry cleaner bags we get asked a lot about. The newspaper sleeve that comes on your daily newspaper that gets dropped at the end of your driveway. All of those film plastics are recyclable in the Bags Life program. And what it actually is a public education campaign that unites the nonprofits, the business, the community, the governments around the common goal of getting this film plastic back to a source that can be recycled. We're partnered in this program with Keep Georgia Beautiful Foundation, the Georgia Food Industry Association, and the American Chemistry Council, and now the Society of Plastics Industries is involved in this. And the retailers where you can take this material are found on their website. It's a zip code locator, so you can find out where the drop-off sites are. It has a bag family that shows you what all the materials are that we just talked about. And Walmart, Target, Lowe's, JCPenney, Publix, Kroger, Food Line, and Harvey's are just a few of the places that you can go to find out about the material. And then everybody says, well, what happens to plastic bags? Well, guess what? Magically, a plastic bag can be turned into a composite lumber. This one's made by Trex, and it's a beautiful, durable, non-toxic, requires less maintenance, and it's a beautiful decking that can be used that weatherizes better, lasts longer, and this once was a plastic bag.
Wow, and that's awesome. And I want to reiterate to our citizens that although plastic bags are recyclable, but they're not supposed to be in the single stream. That's one of those items that you said everything can't be put together. That's one of those items that needs to be segregated and taken back to the grocery store. And once you start collecting that film, We have a lot of film
Yes.
once you start pulling that all together. Well, Gloria, thank you for that wealth of information. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Judy Knowles, and I'm the director of Keep South Fulton Beautiful. That sounds like a slogan, doesn't it? But Keep South Fulton Beautiful is much more than a slogan. We're a nonprofit, 501c3 grassroots organization. Keep South Fulton Beautiful operates on a 5-step program. We get the facts, we involve the people, we plan systematically, we focus on results, and we provide positive reinforcement. We would love for you to join us.